Let's go. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Brian Ferrati podcast. Today, I'm diving into my weekly recap of being now 9 weeks out from the Portland Marathon. So I've talked about this quite a few times, but I'm on a mission. And this quote has inspired me, especially this summer. It's people want to follow people on a mission. So today, I'm going to share my mission to run a sub 3 hour marathon, hopefully 2:55. We're looking for something within that window. And we're going to dive into my third week. This will be episode 3. So we're 9 weeks out from the Portland Marathon, which is October 6th, 2024. And we're looking to drop a sub 3, which will be about a 6:50 pace per mile. And just been trying to build out these episodes of sharing my training, what I'm doing right now, things I'm learning from my training, as well as connect with other people who are preparing to either run Hood to Coast, the Portland Marathon, or another marathon coming up. And I think another part is this is like an active journal. So it's just an active process of me reflecting on my training and things that I could do a little bit better, things I need to double down on. And so if you have any feedback, please make sure you reach out. You can leave a comment on YouTube. You can text me, DM me. If you're listening to this in the car right now, or maybe you're tuning in during your warm up before you work out. But we'll get into this. It was my second week of running 50 miles. I broke the 50-mile mark for the second time in a row. And Monday, it was a little bit different. We started off with the yo-yo level 1, or the beep test. So maybe some of you are getting Vietnam flashbacks right now because you hear that British voice that's like level 1 and or like 5.1 or whatever that may be. But women's basketball, one of the teams that I work with at the University of Portland, we ran our fitness test. So after the girls finished up, they grabbed all their stuff and we got a break. Then I ran it with a couple of our student athletes who graduated last year, and I got a 17.1, which comes out to either 31 or 33 reps. So it's a max effort test where you're basically changing direction, 20 meters out, 20 meters back. You got to make it back before the beep. They progressively increase in speed, and I got a 17.1, which I need to double check. Like I said, it's like 31 or 33 down and backs. That was my run for the day. Honestly, I didn't do my recovery run later. That was it. And then I hit some jiu-jitsu Monday night. So I've kept that consistent, hitting jiu-jitsu on Mondays, Wednesdays, and that one weekend session. Tuesday was the big workout day. This one was huge. This was probably my best workout that I've had since started training for Portland Marathon. But I did 8 by 1 mile. So 8 miles with 65 seconds rest in between. And I kept my average to 6:16. So the slowest mile that I ran was a 6:19, and the quickest one I ran was a 6:11. Honestly, the cool part is I said this last week and I get to say it again, but that is the best workout I've ever done. That is the fastest I've ever ran for more of like a speed session. And we're pushing the boundary. We're expanding the corners and we're getting a little uncomfy. And I'm just trying to become more fit, more resilient, more robust, and stack on some fast miles. I ended up doing just a cool down mile after that. So I did 1 mile warm up, 8 by 1 mile with a 65-second rest, and then a 1 mile cool down. A part of that too, I did a lift Tuesday prior, which honestly, I know that's kind of, some people say don't, some people say it's okay. I really like doing the strength work before, just with how my schedule is. I can lift around 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, then I won't run until the afternoon. And I use that lift as almost like a warm up. So I'll do some prep work. I'll do some hip mobility. I hit 5-5, 3-3, 2-2 on squat. And then I did glute ham raises for 4x6. I did rear foot elevateds, 4x6. And then I finished up with leg extension isos. So basically imagine if you did a leg extension, but you only went like a third of the way and you hold that for 30 seconds on each leg. So you're doing a single leg hold. And then I did seated calf raises, loaded. I just did 3 sets of 6. Been trying to build those 2 exercises into the back of my session, along with some glute ham sit-ups for some core work. So I think one thing I can do a little bit better for these videos and for this podcast is if you do check it out on YouTube, I'll have more videos of my training. So I think people might appreciate that, but videos, not just like, hey, I squatted 5-5-3-3. I'll show you an example of what my prep and what my lift looks like for those lower body days. Wednesday, I did Jiu Jitsu in the evening. And prior to that, I just did a warm up. So it was just a recovery, 46 minutes, 5 miles. It was pretty slow. That's okay. I just needed some time on feet before I went and trained Jiu Jitsu at Renzo Gracie. And then Thursday, I was actually feeling pretty good, and it was really hot. It felt good to be outside, working on my tan, getting fit, training a little bit in uncomfortable weather. It was like 90 degrees this week in Portland. So I did 60 minutes and covered 7 miles. Friday, big recovery day. We just chilled, to be honest. I ran a lot later in the day, and it was just 4 miles out and back. So 30 minutes of time on feet. And then Saturday was the big one. Saturday was the big one. I ran for 120 minutes exactly. So I ran 15 miles in 2 hours at 8:03 pace and really tried to push it. So on the last 4, I tried to keep it below 740, 730-ish. And that's something I've been incorporating on the long runs, is especially towards the end, really push the pace, get it closer to that. I understand it's not going to be marathon race pace, but can I run over 13 miles and then really push on the back half? I think that's really going to pay off, pairing that up with my speed workouts. But it's just something I've been messing with. I don't know if you're listening and you've been messing around with maybe the long run or tweaking how to get more speed work. I would love some feedback. So leave it in the comments or hit me up. And then Sunday, so I smashed 8-mile run with Tom. And I actually, usually I just go out and back. It's his long run day. But today, instead of going out 4 miles and out or coming back 4 miles, I just ran 8 miles to Selwood, which is in South Portland, with Tom. And then he kept going to get his 16 miles in. And I grabbed some coconut water, the pineapple flavor, which I've been loving. I don't know why. That's been my craving recently on my runs. I got that at Zupans, and I just got an Ubered back home instead of running the 16 because Sunday is open mat at Renzo Gracie Jiu Jitsu. So it was a little tight, not perfect case scenario. I kind of gassed myself out. So we were doing some closed guard. So it's like if someone's trying to pass your knees and you're using your legs while you're sitting on your back, you use your legs to not let the person basically like pin you or get around your knees and basically get on top of you, like in wrestling, if they were going to pin. And I definitely felt like hip flexors were a little gassed. Perfect case scenario. I think next week I'll probably just run sooner. So I got to run earlier on Sundays so that I can make it to noon class and be recovered, have a little bit more to eat before I get into training. I hit 5 7-minute live rounds. I believe it was either 5 or 6. They went well, and I picked up some new stuff for that outside passing and that hip and knee post, which I mentioned in the last episode. But yeah, just moving forward, I guess just like feedback for myself and a little, I guess, sneak peek for you guys listening is we're getting close. We're getting close. 8 weeks in a couple of days here pretty soon. And one of my goals is to continue to ramp up the speed work. So I need to run faster, and I also need to ramp up the volume, which that's kind of tough to do. It's usually in training, or especially with the athletes, like we'll try to do like a 3-week block of raising volume, and then you keep the volume consistent and you do a 3-week block of raising intensity. That's what I would do for the weight room, or that's what I would do for like on-field extensive tempos or something like that. But for me, I feel like I got to do both. I got to raise the volume and I got to raise the intensity. So a part of that is just adding in hill sprints. So I think I'm going to start doing hill sprints on Mondays. Maybe it'll just be like 6 to 10, 20-yard sprints with a minute rest at the end of my easy run. And then just progressively adding volume. So adding more time on feet for those recovery days. So this past week, like what I just shared with you, I did have like a 30-minute one and a 45-minute one. I think it's getting those to 60 minutes. Also, I mentioned this, it's just continue to be consistent with the lifts, and sharing those with all of you listening is giving like more feedback. So instead of me just describing the isometric for my quad and my knee health, it's probably going to be a little bit better if I just have videos of it that you guys can check out. So that's something I will do moving forward for the next video. And last but not least, something I'm super excited about. This will be a little sneak peek. I posted this on Twitter this week, but we got a big thing coming up. We got a big thing, and it is it is a part of my mission. So my mission is to run the sub 3 hour marathon in Portland, but we got this little sub quest coming up, and it is going to happen in the middle of August. I will be able to share more on social media and through these videos in the next couple days. But I'm actually going to be running a marathon this month in August and at an undisclosed location. So it's going to be pretty iconic. My hint is I'm going to be running a marathon in an iconic city. So that's not Portland. I'm pretty excited to knock this out. It's going to be an interesting challenge, and yeah, this you gotta find those things that are giving you energy, that you vibe with. That yeah, if something gives you energy, you got to double down on that thing. And right now, a little sub quest, a little addition to the mission, a little addition to the vision. We are gonna knock out this challenge. So I appreciate you listening and checking out this YouTube video. And please continue to tune in so you can find out more about this sub quest that is going to be happening around August 15th to August 20th. The day that I do this little sub quest, I'm going to post on Twitter. Maybe I'll do some Instagram lives, but I'll be definitely posting a lot of videos for this. It's going to be a pretty crazy experience. So I'm excited to share more coming up, and I appreciate you checking out this video once again. Let's stay on a mission and keep stacking those daily deposits and making every day the best day of the year. Until tomorrow, peace.